What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BBQ Podcast. This is an epic episode. I'll just say that,
Let's go.
It's honestly the best.
Where's
We
the
get the
air
soundboard
horn?
open here. Where's the air horn? Where's the air horn?
Where is it?
Let's go.
Let's go.
It's actually epic. This one, we actually have some really good topics to talk about. For instance, Hypixel announces a whole new server system that's actually going to be after this segment. It's actually really epic. And at the end, our last segment is a Josh fight.
Josh fight.
It tells you all about
amazing.
that. You don't even know what the Josh
so
fight
good.
was. If you don't know what the Josh fight is, you gotta listen to that one. Just that one. Like, it's actually epic.
Just
Let's
skip to
be
the end.
prepared for that.
It's like 14 minutes or something. So just go like
it's
15
actually-
minutes from the end, and you'll
It's actually juicy content. Juicy.
Yes.
If you're listening to some platforms, those will be cut off into segments. So that's also good if you're listening to those platforms that have the segments. Another thing that's gonna be epic is that I actually have a joke, and it's gonna be an epic joke.
a
Ready?
joke. Okay.
What did the fish say when it swam into a wall? Damn. Get it? Like a beep. Why is no one laughing? Guys, you gotta give me some credit there. That's actually a good joke, right? You know, it's pretty creative. You know, like, you know, damn,
I'm
like,
gonna have
like
to
the swear words that
expose
people
you.
consider.
He looked it up like 2 seconds before we started recording this.
Hey, don't look. Oh, okay. Okay, fine. I did look it up. But hey, it was a decently bad one, right? All right. I have one.
Sure.
Okay. What do you get when you combine a rhetorical question and a joke?
I don't know. Oh.
Let's keep moving on. Okay.
That's so stupid.
I told you these are bad. These are great jokes, right? Like, you know, you guys got that hopefully, right? What do you guys, you know? But yeah, you know, it's just epic this episode. You know, there's gonna be jokes like that. There's gonna be memes and stuff, like general, like epic memes. Like, you know, there's the Josh fight memes,
Josh fight.
and it's actually a bit. You know, the Josh fight, we actually never covered stuff like this before. So if you guys want more stuff like this, like, I guess the closest thing I'd to it would be the GameStop stocks thing. So if you guys want more meme-ified content, which is more discussion, like we just did there with the Josh fight, at the end, you guys can let us know that in Evan's Discord server or the comments or anywhere you can reach us, really. Like, we don't really care. So, yeah, you're listening to the BBQ Podcast. Stay tuned after this break. Hypixel, guys, this is actually really epic. I think this is really cool. So Hypixel's thinking about making a feature on their server which allow you to create an SMP Minecraft server all through Hypixel. So you can have your guild chat on, your friends list, DMs, all for that. All into the thing, like all, you know, hooked up with Hypixel. So like, let's say, like Hypixel's kind of like a social media, I guess you could say, for this. And the best part is, guys, it's actually for free. What do you think of this, Evan?
Free Pog. No,
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, so as a tweet that came out, I'm just gonna read the tweet. So Simon, just on April 28th, so that's actually just 2 days ago from the time we're recording this. Imagine free Minecraft SMP hosting from the Hypixel server that allows you to keep your friend list, DMs, guild chat working. Imagine set up your SMP world from in-game with just one click, no extra accounts needed. It's happening soon. That is actually gonna be actually cool.
Let's go. Let's go.
Like, I can just, like, first of all, just imagine keep all your stuff in sync. Like, I don't see a need anymore to even leave Hypixel server ever. Like, Hypixel just has it all. What do you think of this feature
That's
so
true.
far? Like,
No,
how
I
in the
agree.
pod chat you said earlier.
I agree. There's no reason to actually leave Hypixel anymore. You can play all your mini games, and you can now have a server, and it'll probably be better than Minehut because mine, you know, Minehut kind of sucks. So that
Yeah, there is a few other, like, as Evan said, Minehut's one of them. There's a few other things that do offer free
Oh, yeah.
servers, but as I said, no other accounts needed. Many of those things make you need to make an account, so that actually compromises
Yep.
your security slightly. It's not, you can't just make it in Minecraft. You have to go to their website and usually there's quite big with back. So this is going to be pretty epic. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. And is there actually going to be like a limit on how many servers you can make or not?
So it just says, so far we don't know much information on this so far. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be one. Like there is going to be, it just says imagine setting up your own SMP world. So basically with one click. So I think it is pretty much just one world. Like you get one whole server for yourself. But they actually haven't revealed too much information yet. So here's some stuff that I was thinking about. So they did say beta testing. It will be in a few next week. So you'll start beginning in the next few weeks, hopefully. And also another thing is that they're hoping to release this before the Minecraft Caves and Cliffs update, like the Caves update. So I think the Caves update is the later one in December. So that's actually quite sooner than I thought it would be.
Yes.
But since we don't have much information, and I'm not really sure what they're going to be doing in terms of that, you know what I mean? If they have, more than one. Maybe one cool thing they could do is that they could maybe make it so that the first server that you get, like, the first one, you get it for free, but then after that you pay for just pay for them, which could honestly still be worth it knowing Hypixel.
Yeah, that's probably what they would do, I would assume. But yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. I'm so excited. I can make a server for all of my fans now. And it'll actually be good. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so another thing I was thinking about this is that how would the joining stuff work? Is there going to be a dedicated IP address or like is it going are you even allowed to have public servers with this? Like that's going to be actually quite interesting
Yeah,
because
that is interesting because with the other server hosts, you make it outside of it and it has its own IP that you put into your Minecraft thing and you connect to it. But with this, it's like going through Hypixel and you create the world through Hypixel. So would they actually give you your own IP, or would it be this type of thing where you go into the server and then navigate to the server you want to join?
Yeah, I think it could kind of be like, they have their Hypixel housing thing. I guess it could kind of be like that, but like a whole world. It is rather confusing though, like with all of the stuff they're going to do. Like, are they going to, for instance, this question, which I'm hopefully it's going to be a yes. I do know Lego Maestro, which is a really popular Hypixel news YouTuber, which is why we don't often cover Hypixel related topics here because he's really dedicated to that and we just let him have his own stuff really. And but basically he did cover this and he tried to reach out to him to ask him, is this going to support multiple versions? Like, are you going to be able to make a server in 1.8, 1.7, or let's say 1.12, or any of those other versions, or are you just going to be able to, or are you just going to need to stick with the latest version? So I hope personally, I'm sure you think this too, that they do allow you change the version because I would personally think that's really cool. So what do you think they're going to be able to change the version? Do you think we'll be able to change the world that we get? For instance, if I have a world on my computer that I want to upload to it, do you think we'd be able to set that up? What do you think Hypixel's going to do for that stuff?
Well, I obviously sure hope that's an option, but I don't know. That'd be interesting. It would be so you'd have to like log on to Minecraft in the version you'd want to use, right?
Yeah, so it would be for sure like if Minecraft server is set up for this like a certain version, let's use plugins.
Right.
Which is another question I was going to ask. Do you think they're going to allow you to use plugins? Because that's a big withdrawal with the free ones. For instance, I used to actually run my own server, so I have a lot of paid plugins, but I can't use them using the free server host because they don't let you upload your own plugins because of copyright stuff and things, I'm pretty sure. So because of that, I wonder if they'll be able to even let you do plugins. It's just going to be a limited quantities, like limited choice of this list, like they do for Eternos, and mine have the big two popular ones that are for you hosting. There's a lot of questions going on. He did say it's going to release like Simon did say that they're going to support the latest versions and even newer ones when they release, but it doesn't really say much. He never really says much about, doing the older versions or plugins or server cap. That's actually a big one too. What do you think the server cap will be, Evan?
I would think it'd be like, I actually don't know. Okay, so for the versions, I think it's most likely that they'll only do 1.16, although I do, or whatever the current version is. Although I do think it would be like a thing where once you make a server, like, and the version changes, it's still not like you can still play on your, say, 1.16 server when 1.17 comes out. That's what I would think they do. It would be great if they made it so you can do past versions like 1.8 or something. So
as a reference, so let's say, I'm sorry to interrupt there, but like Minehut, for instance, right? You always have to play in the updated version. They always make you update the servers just so that you can have everything laid back. I
mhm.
think the only server hosting that currently does that is Eternos, and even this, so it's just you installing a different jar. So unless you use
uh,
a plugin, you won't be able to play in past versions once it's updated. Which, well, then if they allow plugins, there'll be no problem, right?
yeah.
I'll let you continue now.
I
Sorry.
do hope they add plugins, but I also don't know how that would work because it'd be interesting because it's easy to set up plugins when you're on a separate site, like outside of Minecraft. I don't know how that would be worked out, personally, but I don't know. I
I do
guess,
know mine at one point they did actually have this one where you could saw all the plugins from the Minecraft server. It actually didn't work the worst. Like it actually did not work that bad. So I think
that's
they'll
a
be able
good
to do it,
sign.
but it would be a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, I can only imagine because I remember you trying to tell me how to set up plugins on my server that I made, and that was hard enough when we were doing it through Minehut. But I'd never had any experience using plugins, so I guess that's completely different. But I
Yeah,
sure
I'm also
hope.
not the best explainer, so you can say
Well,
that.
I'm not the best listener and doer. I don't know. But I sure hope that they have another way, an alternate method of setting that up. And it would be nice if you can access it from the browser, like through the Hypixel website. Maybe they make like a your server tab, and then you can make adjustments and stuff like you would with Minehut and Aternos, rather than having to do everything through Hypixel. That'd be pretty cool. We'll see
Yeah,
what they do.
I think that I agree. They just make probably another part of their Hypixel thing for that. Like, it's like can have an online dashboard. I think that's really important. But also knowing Hypixel, knowing by how they've made a lot of complex features that used to be considered like more complex in like the past, they've really known how to revolutionize things with using their practice modes and stuff to be able to make this like spread across the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like this will also help. Knowing them, they'll be able to make really good how do I say this, menus, I guess you could say, that will make it very well user friendly, that can just help bring people right into the space. But player cap, as said about that before, I hope they do it at least the same amount as they do the others do free server hosting, which is I think 10, I believe. And it
Yeah.
just closes. I'm not sure. Also, another good this question is, will they close their servers like the other ones do if they're not being ran? I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that'd be quite crazy. But
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna do for that stuff too. Because let's say if they do a queue, like for instance, there's a queue usually for Eternos. That could be quite a long queue. Or for Minehut, there's a strict limit for Minehut, and they often reach that limit on peak hours and peak times. They would need something better than both of those. I feel like they're going to need a lot of servers for this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Another thing is, what do you think about the lag? Do you think the lag's going to be better or worse, or what do you think the lag's going to be on these servers?
Well, I know that Hypixel thrives around being like a good like actually good. It's very like top quality, So I'd assume if they have really bad lag problems, they're not going to be like, "Hey, keep playing this. This is a great idea. It works wonderful." No, I'd expect Hypixel to make sure that their development and everything works before they release it. So I don't know. I'd expect at least a little bit of lag, considering that there are gonna be a lot of people playing on it. But I would hope that they're able to make it run pretty smoothly. Not like if you've watched me streaming Minecraft on my Minehut servers, you know how bad it can be sometimes. I mean, Boom knows from when we play sometimes on Minehut. So I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near that bad with Hypixel. We'll have to see.
Yeah, no, I do know Hypixel, especially since they had Skyblock. They're reaching like 100K players like pretty much all
Yeah.
the time nowadays, because I do know that like they've been struggling keeping up on the regular server. Like they've been buying servers like time over time over time over time again. Like they're just buying all these servers. I do feel like although I think I would hope like Hypixel does better than, let's say, Minehut, for instance. I'm not sure how hopeful I am, considering these are free servers and
That's
there's going to be a
true.
lot of databases. Well,
Yes.
well, actually, let me look at the tweet again. It does say free. Okay, it does say free. I'm gonna make sure I actually read that. I was like, okay, because if it's paid, it'll be a bit better. But yeah, oh no, it really depends. But I do hope it's less laggy than Minehut, for instance. But it'll be a lot more pop than Minehut. I also feel like so. It's
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I
Maybe because of competition between the two, it will kind of balance itself out. Maybe.
yeah, I would hope that Hypixel is like somewhat prepared for having like a large number of people trying to play on those servers. So I don't expect it to be like not working the first day or something. Uh
Yeah.
but I do think it'll be a bit better than Minehut. At least a bit better. And hopefully it
And
won't go down as much.
they're also doing beta testing, which will hopefully, kind of
Yeah.
prepare them slightly. And also
Yeah.
knowing Hypixel, they've done this in the past with many popular games like Skyblock, for instance. They've just proposed it so only MVP plus pluses can do it, then MVP pluses, then MVPs, then VIP plus, and then VIP. Like they just go for the rank system to slowly trickle in the players so they can slowly handle it in by their ranks. So which would hopefully be really good to help them, prepare for the maximum of players once all the defaults, I guess you could say, start going in here.
Yeah,
And for those who, sorry,
that's a great strategy to make sure everything's working. I'd also say that player cap, because I know you were talking about this before. I would expect it to be around 10, but I would hope that you're able to expand it for a fairly cheap price. But of course, having it paid, not many people are actually going to pay for it, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah,
I
anyways,
really hope that I really hope that Hypixel actually uses this to actually gain some money too. Like, they start using this as help them go up. Because I do know a lot of game companies, like, look at Hypixel and they're like, oh, you guys make no money compared to us. Like, micro servers, especially on Java Edition, do not make much money, which is why the Hive actually pretty recently shut down permanently. Mineplex is not going well. It's because all these servers are located on the more popular Bedrock version, which is cross like platform. More people can play it. And it's just cheaper to run servers on there too, since it's not as inefficiently coded, I guess, if you know what I mean. So I do hope that this helps Hypixel make some more money. Is that I think that's a pretty good thing to do. They have to pay off admins and developers and all that stuff, right? So
and they
another
can
thing is that
expand and get better servers and stuff if they get more money. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They can use that to invest in themselves as well. So another thing for those who are worried about this actually lagging other games on the server, because right now we all know that, for instance, the Skyblock. A lot of people blame Skyblock whenever the server is lagging because it takes up so many like stuff. Like all the players are just playing that game. You don't need to worry about that because the core hardware, so that'll be running instances and storage for the SMP will be on a different like set of hardware than the rest of the server. So the minigame and performances will not be affected according to Simon. So that's actually really good news because
Yeah, that makes sense though. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, they really do need to start buying like other servers and like have these on different core because it's already pretty bad with all the mini games. So it makes sense they're doing that. Do you have anything else to add to this topic, Evan?
I don't, but I'm pretty excited for this actually. I feel like I say that like every episode, but I'm pretty excited for this because this will be it'll be like a quality of life thing for me, honestly. It'll be nice to be able to just use Hypixel for server hosting. But yeah.
Yeah, for instance, I kind of stopped playing Hypixel and I still have MVP Plus on there, so I can now log in, still use some of my benefits that I have for that rank because I don't play on Hypixel too often anymore, to be honest. I kind of got bored of it. So this also may still use it once this hosting comes out. So that's actually really good news for me as well. This is the BBQ Podcast. Stay tuned after this short break. So some sad news that we felt decided that would not be best for us to do put in the lightning round just because it's a bit more of a highlight, I guess you could say. I'm going to be talking for the segment pretty much, so it's going to be a bit more not as used to, but this is pretty sad news. So Jeff Kaplan, after being with Blizzard Entertainment for 19 years, has stepped down as game director for Overwatch. So that means there's going to be no more. Hi guys, it's Jeff from the Overwatch team. Dev updates, and there's going to be no longer. I'm not sure why. Like why Jeff left is still kind of a mystery. There's probably several reasons why. It could be family. Could be a few reasons. Maybe he's going to start up his own company, like a few other developers that have quit or got fired from Activision Overwatch / Blizzard before they just started their own game companies and sold them to bigger companies that are like their competitors. So maybe Jeff will go to that. But Aaron Keller is going to be taking his place as the new game director for Overwatch. He was actually the assistant game director for Overwatch before this happened, and he's been at the company for 18 years, I believe. So hopefully it's still in good plans. But Jeff Kaplan has been working on this game for years now, ever since it was called Titan originally. And a lot of people actually like to call him Daddy Jeff in the community. And so I think that a lot of people make comments saying, "Oh no, he's left just like my real dad. He really is Daddy Jeff," which is quite funny for some people out there. I know that some people have darker humor, but it's quite sad, and people are still going to blame him for everything. Because everyone, whenever you die in Overwatch, you just blame yourself. You don't blame the game. You don't blame the mechanics. You don't blame yourself. You always blame Jeff. Jeff, why did you do this to me? So Jeff, you're forever in our hearts for making us all die. We just want to have you bless you. Well, bless you, I guess you could say. For the rest of you do. And Aaron, you better not. We know you're taking his place, but you're going to be garbage compared to him. We all know that. Russian, not so sure what he'll be doing yet. So hopefully that's good, especially since he's leading us into the new game that they're making and developing, Overwatch 2. You're listening to the BBQ Podcast. Stay tuned after this short break. Lightning round. Let's get right into it. There's some solid tech news and gaming news and some sports news later on, the sports segment of this, I guess you could say, miniature segment. So laptops are getting released with NVIDIA's new 3050 Ti's. I don't think they've ever actually announced this yet, so this is really getting leaked really hard. Like, they really are not even, like it's pretty much official now. Technically, this is supposed to be a leak, I think, but whatever. So E3 announces Greg Miller, Jackie Jing, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that last name, and Alex Golden Boy Mendes are hosting E3. So that's going to be pretty epic. I'm sure some of you guys may know some of them. I know Golden Boy from his Overwatch in the past, and that's going to be pretty epic if you're into those and if you're enjoy watching E3, So Epic Games and Apple's lawsuits revealing a lot of stuff about these companies, including Epic Games not wanting Fortnite on Xbox Cloud Gaming, because I don't remember the reason why, because I don't remember the articles, but there's a few reasons why. I think it's because of merchant fees and stuff. And Monday, May 3rd, is when they're going to court. So it could be some epic live streams on that. I know some people are going to try to live stream it already. And some people are kind of zoo bombing. Pretty interesting. So the Windows Store cut is being moved to 12%. And 30% revenue is usually considered average for this industry for most online store things. Valve and Epic Games, the Epic Games Store, both have similar percent cuts. I think Valve right now with Steam actually technically does have 30, but some studies have shown, some surveys from game developers, so that usually it's most likely that Valve is actually getting way less than that 30% cut. So maybe it's going to be a way less cut because of competition. So that's going to be a good thing for pretty much everybody in every round, pretty much, because the less cut is usually good. For these things, helps get game developers on there. Popular party game Quiplash was free recently. If you haven't got it yet, how did I say this to you? It's too late. I'm sorry. You should have gotten it early. You should have not listened to a BBQ Podcast for news this week. I'm sorry. So new Overwatch May skin in preparation for the Overwatch League's May League tournament. So if you want to get the skin, it costs 200 credits. I think that's like $20 Canadian if you want to pay for it. Or if you're watching enough hours of the Overwatch League while I have your YouTube account and Battle.net account, you can get that. You can get the credits, those tokens, for free, and use those tokens to, pay for that May skin. It's called MMA, which is pretty much MMA, which is pretty cool of a name, I think. So PS5 or PlayStation 5 pre-orders finally being in China, almost after 6 months after the United States release. Since of chip shortage and stuff, I'm pretty sure there's just a delayed start for them actually, releasing this in China for the Chinese gamers who want to play on their, PlayStations. So if that's good for if you live in China, which probably don't if you're listening to this, because freedom of speech issues there with China. And NVIDIA is once again trying to limit mining on cards. As you guys may have heard before, last time they tried doing it, they called it unhackable, which, the internet, you don't want to say something's unhackable because they're going to find something to hack it. And they managed within an hour that, release that new driver, they managed a way to figure out how to not limit that and actually be able to push it to, once again, mine as fast as it can. I feel like, guys, if someone said cancer has no cure, the internet would be like, they'll all be banding together to be able to cure cancer. Like, it's kind of insane. Epic Game Store is expanding fast and is getting into apps like Discord and Brave. Now, Brave is a web browser, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, it's a web browser, right? And also like Discord, so now I can like talk to gamers and stuff. All for Epic Games. Like Epic Games Store is really expanding. It's kind of becoming, I guess, Microsoft Play Store because so can spend a lot less on games nowadays. So Sony is testing out PlayStation video streaming service in Poland, and I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, there's not enough streaming services. Like there's we're only like 20, so I'm sure glad there's another streaming service. And on the real point, this is probably a good idea for Sony because this will help even more people buy that PlayStation Network thing that they have going on for that stuff. Super Mario Party receives huge update. This is allowing people to finally play online games, and many people are thinking because of this they're going to also have a preparation for another Super Mario Party game. I've heard a few YouTube discussions about that, so that's pretty interesting. Roku is removing YouTube TV from their TVs due to data issues and new contract issues. Google says it's all Roku's fault, and Roku says it's all Google's fault. So, that's what companies are like nowadays. Maybe there's going to be a lawsuit between them, just like Epic Games and Apple, which is happening on this next Monday. This is Boom signing out. Evan, to the sports segment.
Okay, time for this week's sports segment. Just a reminder that all standings that I mentioned are accurate at the time of this recording, which is Friday, April 30 at 11:09 p.m. Okay, so switching over to the MLB here. As you know, it's well into the regular season. In the AL East, the Boston Red Sox are leading. In the AL Central, the Kansas City Royals are leading. The Oakland Athletics are in the lead in the AL West. The Atlanta Braves lead the NL East. The Milwaukee Brewers are on top of the NL Central. And in the NL West, the San Francisco Giants are currently in first place ahead of the LA Dodgers, who were popping off last time we had the BBQ Podcast, but not anymore. The Dodgers were previously leading the league with an 11 wins and 2 loss record, but have gone on a bad streak and now have 16 wins and 10 losses. Yikes. Sucks to be a Dodgers fan right now. I kind of feel bad for you, actually. Anyways, the San Francisco Giants lead the National League with a 16 wins to 9 losses record now and a .640 percentage, which is just a half game ahead of the Dodgers as of now. The Kansas City Royals lead the American League and the MLB with a 15-8 record and a .652 percentage. The standings can be found at MLB.com. If you're a video viewer, you can see them right here. I'll just scroll through them as we go through the news. There haven't been any no-hitters since the last episode. Last episode, there were 2 no-hitters that I talked about. There haven't been any no-hitters yet, but Yusei Kikuchi, I don't know if that's how you say his name, pitched no hits into the 7th as the Mariners beat the Astro 1-0. You can find more about that on ESPN. So near no hitters are usually still pretty hype. So let's go. Also, the Philadelphia Phillies, Bryce Harper, is out with a sore wrist. Boo-hoo. No, you can find more about that at TSN. Also, the Rays shut out the Athletics. So Glass now had 10 strikeouts in that game. So that is pretty pog. You can find more about that at sportsnet.ca. Switching gears to the NHL. The Stanley Cup playoffs are inching closer. The Vegas Golden Knights overtook the Colorado Avalanche and now lead the Honda West Division with 72 points. Minnesota is behind both of them in third place. In the Discover Central Division, the Carolina Hurricanes still lead, and the Florida Panthers have moved into second, overtaking the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Hurricanes currently have 73 points. The Washington Capitals are on top in the MassMutual East Division with 69 points, and the Pittsburgh Penguins have overtaken the New York Islanders in the second and are tied in points, but have a percentage that's .14 lower. So, yeah, or .014. Wait, yeah, it's 0.014. My bad. Then the Toronto Maple Leafs lead the Scotia North Division with 69 points as well. The Edmonton Oilers are now in second with 60 points. The Leafs are a fair amount ahead. I'm actually pretty excited about that. And then the Oilers are in second with 60 points, as I said, and the Hurricanes lead the whole league with 73 points and a 33 wins, 10 losses, and 7 overtime losses record, which is a 730 percentage, which is pretty great. Vegas is second overall with 72 points. And the standings can be found at nhl.com/standings/2020/division. If you're an audio listener or if you're a video listener, I have them pulled up right here. Let's roll into some news here. The Winnipeg Jets are on a 5-game losing streak after almost taking first in the Scotia North Division. During our last episode, you would have heard about that. It must suck to be them. You can go find more about that at nhl.com. Jagger is 49, and like his age is 49, and he's announcing that he's planning to continue his career for at least another season. He says he's feeling good, which is pretty awesome. I think it's his 33rd year as a professional NHL player, so that's pretty crazy. More about that at nhl.com. Also, the Seattle Kraken have officially become the NHL's 32nd team, and they may now begin trading. They're officially recognized. And this balances both the Eastern and Western conferences with 16 teams each. You can find more info at this at TSN and NHL.com. Switching gears to the NBA a little bit. The Brooklyn Nets lead the Eastern Conference with 43 wins and 20 losses, just ahead of the Philadelphia 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Utah Jazz still lead the Western Conference with 45 wins and 17 losses, also leading the NBA. And the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Clippers still trail behind them, as they did last episode. The Denver Nuggets are catching up. They're really close. The Washington Wizards are now currently qualified for the play-in tournament, with the Bulls and Raptors just out in the East. In the West, the Spurs are currently in position to qualify for the play-in tournament, as they were last time, and the Warriors are just behind them. You know, it's crazy how they've gone from winning NBA championships to barely making the play-in tournament. If this was a normal season, they wouldn't even make the playoffs if they keep their current position. But yeah. And then they're just barely qualified. The Pelicans are now just out of the qualification line. The standings can be found at nba.com/standings. If you're an audio listener, and if you're a video listener, I have them right here. You can see the playoff picture is actually up on the standings, and they're updating this. And you can see the teams that are in position to take a spot in the playoffs here. So it's going to be interesting. Things will be changing a lot, obviously, because there's still a number of games to play, and it doesn't start until May 22nd, which is getting close. Actually, the play-in tournament starts May 18th, so that's getting pretty close. By our next episode, we'll basically be at that. So yeah, you can take more of a look at that on your own. I'll pull up the Eastern and Western Conference standings for all of you video listeners as we roll into some news. LeBron James, who has been out since March 20 with a high ankle sprain, is expected to return for Friday's game against the Kings. So yeah, you can find more about that, TSN. I'm sure some of you are excited about his return. I'm not a fan, but whatever. The Phoenix Suns have clinched their first playoff spot in 11 years after winning against the Clippers. That's pretty cool. Good job for the Phoenix Suns. That's at Sportsnet. But in other news, the NBA keeps becoming, I think everyone can attest to this. The NFL has done this too, but they're becoming much more political and much more woke left. And regardless of what you believe, the numbers are out, and the sport getting political has led to a 45% decrease in viewership since 2012. That's a big yikes for me. Yeah, that's, most people see sports as a getaway from reality, and I guess that's what happens when it's not. So yeah, you can go look up that stat for yourself if you want. In soccer, the MLS regular season is just about 2 weeks underway, so it's just starting. Last time we had an episode of the podcast release, and that means there have been 2 games played for each team. So the CF Montreal lead the East with a win and a draw for a total of 4 points. The Atlanta United and New England Revolution trail behind them. And in the West, the Los Angeles Galaxy lead with 2 wins and a total of 6 points and lead the league. They lead the league as well. In second are the Seattle Sounders FC and the LAFC behind them. Here are the standings right here for all of you who want to see that. Also moving into Premier League, Manchester City is still leading the English Premier League with 24 wins, 5 draws, and 4 losses. It's not even close. They're way ahead. Manchester United trails many wins behind them. Leicester City and Chelsea are behind them. Chelsea has moved up since last time. They've overtaken West Ham United, which is now in 5th, and Liverpool, which is in 6th. I might as well comment on this. Sheffield United is last in the league with 5 wins, 2 draws, and 26 losses. I'm sorry if you're a fan. It's just too funny. The NFL is in the offseason right now. It will be starting again. The Super Bowl was still not that long ago, so we'll get there eventually. The CFL is entering their preseason on May 23rd. That's all for this week's sports update. You can find standings and news at MLB.com, NHL.com, and NBA.com. You can also find other sports news from today's segment at ESPN.com, TSN.ca, and Sportsnet.ca. That's all for this week's Lightning Round. You're watching the BBQ Podcast Season 2, Episode 6. Stick around for more. Okay, so YouTube is actually allowing their users to make their YouTube channel name and profile picture different from their Google account. This is one thing that's really bothered me with YouTube and Google. There are ways to get around to like making a brand account and then everything works fine. But then you have separate YouTube accounts. It's really annoying. So it's gonna be nice how users are going to be able to make their YouTube channel different from their Google account. So for you who don't know right now, if you make a Google account and you put your name in there, like whatever, John Doe, right? Put your name in there and maybe you want to make it your actual a picture of you, so everyone who sees you, like emails you and everything like that, sees your actual picture, like you. But then you go to make your YouTube channel. What it'll do is it'll force you to use the same name, John Doe, and the same picture. So if you want to make it different, like say BoomBQ or Even10 as your name, and you want to use like your brand logo that you've created, you can't do that. You have to enable your personal account as a channel, not do anything with that channel, and then create a brand account. It's really annoying and it's really stupid, and I don't know why they haven't changed it yet. But yeah, they're working on changing that, and it is one of the most requested features according to YouTube. So I'm so happy that they're finally doing this. It's not of any use to me anymore since I have all my channels set up, but it is really nice that they're finally doing this. What do you think about it, Boom?
Yeah, I'm actually really glad to do this because I actually have this issue right now. So I actually tried to do it pretty recently, right? But basically, when I made my YouTube account actually made it. I actually never made a YouTube channel. I just used like a Google account to like stuff. But one time when I was like, when I was like, I think I was like 13 or something, right? On my phone, I was watching YouTube and I accidentally dropped on my face. It like left a comment, so I automatically just made a regular YouTube channel. And like it just, had my regular name. So I was like, oh frick, I gotta change this, right? So I changed it, but then I just changed my Google name to BoomBQ as well. So basically right now my Google and my YouTube said it was BoomBQ, which is why I want to keep next. Now I've left it for comments. I have YouTube videos on that thing. And I actually have some moderator stuff I have on. If I change it to my regular name, it's going to have all those comments automatically changed to my regular name my profile picture, which is something I do not want. But when people email me, like from my Gmail, which I sometimes don't use my Gmail, they'll see boom BQ and they'll see my my profile picture for my YouTube account. And I do not want that. So I actually want that to be my regular name and my maybe for myself. I'm not sure I'll have as my profile picture there, right? But like maybe it's a logo for something if I ever run a business in the future.
Mhm.
So I currently have that issue. So I'm really glad I actually set that up. Is that now I can actually maybe try and finally unsync them so I can keep all my comments and stuff as under the channel name Boom BQ, so I don't need to worry about deleting my comments, especially since I've got some hearts from some pretty big YouTubers out there. I think one of them has like 7 million subscribers, and that to me is an accomplishment, so I'm keeping that heart. And it's one of those channels that don't heart things often too, so that's like pretty big deal. You know what I mean? I'm like one of the only like 10 people who's ever gotten a heart from it, so I'm trying to keep those comments. And you know what I mean? Like, and the moderators with like moderations without making a new account. So I'm really glad they're finally doing this, so that I can hopefully that I can now finally separate it. So yeah, I think this is really good news.
Yes, for sure.
Like the stress in my voice.
I don't know why they never changed this before. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know. YouTube's doing their own thing. They're finally changing it now, so that's good. And
Yeah,
that's
they're finally changing some of the features they added back from the Google Plus days when they were trying to sync up Google, like Plus, whatever it was called. No, it wasn't even called Google Plus, was it? What was it called again?
I think it was Google
Was ever that?
Plus.
Well, it was Google Plus. Yeah, Google Plus, whatever. Apparently, I got banned from that thing. Like, I was looking for my old emails, like a few months ago. I think it was a month ago. And like, I was going for like ones from like 2016 and stuff, and it was like, you got banned from Google Plus permanently. I'm like, I did? Huh, who knew? Who cares? Because it was such a useless platform. Who cares if you got banned from it?
How did you?
I'm not sure what I got banned for. I think it said spam, I think, but I don't remember spam anything. So I think my Google account was like hacked at the time. I pushed the spammy stuff there. So I don't really care because it was Google Plus. So it's awkward laughter. Hey, it's Google Plus. Who cares if you get banned from it? It's not like it's not like YouTube. If I got banned from YouTube, like my life would be ended right there. Like I'd be like, no, that's not YouTube. It's not any of those important platforms. So who cares? Do you have anything else to add, Evan?
No. After that incredible story, I no longer have any words. But I'll leave you all with a few words. You're listening to the BBQ Podcast, episode 6. We'll be right back.
The battle of the Joshes finally happened. This is actually
It's
really
just
impressive.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, 1 year on, I think it was. Let me get the date real quick. It was like 1 year ago. It was in April, right? It was April 24th. This one guy named Josh Wayne made a group chat on Facebook full of other people named Josh Waynes, and he said, "Okay, guys, you guys may be wondering why I gathered you all here today." And someone said, and one Josh replied, "Because we all have the same names?" Question mark. And guy said, "Precisely. Meet up at these coordinates at 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. Yeah, sorry, 12 p.m. Yeah, my bad. Local time." And it was in Nebraska. I'm giving you 1 year to prepare. So basically, since I was in 2020, some of you guys may know it's 2021 now. That's it's 2021. Who knew that?
What? Actually?
Yeah, it is 2021. So the fight happened. And many people thought this was going to kind of be like the Area 51 raid thing because it was kind of
that's such
it was posted on a few famous Instagram accounts. Like I think it was I don't remember the name. I think it's like Pubbity. That's like a famous Instagram account for memes. It was posted all over. It was originally shared on Josh Wayne's Twitter account as well, but it kind of spread all over the internet. So memes were starting to get made up. People made websites for it. I think one of the websites was Josh.com. There's a whole bunch of different websites, a whole bunch of different things. There's live streams getting prepared all for this Josh fight because everyone was ready to deck out for the person to keep the name. Because basically, I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but I think I missed it actually. Whoever won this Josh fight got to keep the name. All other Joshes had to change the name, legally speaking. Like That's pretty important, you know what I mean? So all of them met up 12 p.m. in this field in Nebraska. But then they found out because people were kind of gathering out before this was on private property, and no one wants to trespass on some old lady's private property. So they kind of had put up a sign saying, "No Josh White here, please meet at these coordinates instead." And they typed in new coordinates. And this was at a park nearby an airport that was local. This was all happening in Lincoln, Nebraska, by the way. So, everyone meet up there. And the battle was actually insane. So they had this whole subreddit for it. I forget. I think it was called Josh Battles, the subreddit. So it's r/Josh Battle. I think it was what it's called. Don't quote me on that, but there was a subreddit for it. And basically, he told everyone to bring a pool noodle, and he also asked everyone to wear masks. Not everyone cared about that. No one, is everyone's personal choice, right? So no one wanted to be the mask police for that stuff. But they all met up, and a whole bunch of people brought pool noodles, and basically they just had a huge battle. And there was over 950 people there, according to local media, around that much, and 50 more people named Josh. So making around the total there 1,000 people. Like, that's actually insane. Like, I'm not sure if you guys seen some images of this thing, but if you guys search up Josh fight battle, you'll find some videos on YouTube. It's actually epic. There was like people with 4K cameras. Someone's flying a drone around the place. It was epic. So Evan, what do you think of this so far? I'm just going to let you get some opinion here.
Oh, it was epic. I must say, I didn't even know it was happening. Like when it was happening, like Boom had to tell me and like explain it to me. I was so confused. But it's amazing that it happened because let's be honest here. The Area 51 raid, huge, complete disappointment. It was so hyped up.
Well,
everyone was ready for
other
it.
than that one lady, there's this one lady who actually went in there, and the guards had to walk her out, give her a warning because she actually raided it. And one other guy who actually, when the news reporters were there, he just started Naruto running in the background. But other than that, it was a disappointment.
Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, it was a disappointment. Like, come on. It could have been way better. It could have been as epic as this Josh fight. It was so epic. This 5-year-old Josh came out as the winner.
So, it's actually 4-year-old, and he's been nicknamed Little Josh. He's been nicknamed Little Josh.
Okay, are we sure on the 4-year-old sources? Because I've heard 3, 4, and
yes.
5.
So basically, there's been the kid himself. The kid was 5 years old. Said he was 5. So everyone said. So then one guy yelled, "He's 5, everybody!" The leader. And basically, everyone started chanting, "Little Josh, Little Josh." And then someone gave him a Burger King crown, and they held him up, to see the victory. But later on, in a local interview, his father actually said he was 4, and Little Josh lied to us all. So Little Josh is a bamboozler. Like, he bamboozled us all. Some people thought he was 3, some people thought he's 4, some people thought he's 5. Media actually got this wrong, which I'm not sure you guys. Everyone knows media is right or correct 100% of the time.
100%.
Totally. No. But yeah, Little Josh won the battle, and so another thing is that a local, I think it was from the Lincoln Star who reported this, and he sent, and the reporter texted Josh Swain and said the following. So Little Josh apparently actually, when he was younger, when he was like 2 years old, he actually struggled with strokes. So he had to go to not stroke, it was seizures. Sorry, seizures. I'm pretty sure it was. Don't quote me on this. I haven't reread the text before this, but seizures or strokes, I forget. I'm pretty sure it was seizures, and because of that, Little Josh actually had to go to the hospital when he was really young, like a lot of times. And this is actually a really good thing that when people are doing this together, they actually raise money. Like, at the end of this day, they actually all tried to bring, like, they had a food drive, so people were bringing food and water and all that stuff just to the side to donate to a local food bank. And they also were donating to a local kids hospital, so it's kind of perfect that a little kid won this battle, actually struggled with stuff, but going in and out of the hospital for raising money for those kids. You know what I mean?
Amazing. So inspirational.
And honestly was, yeah, so it was actually epic. Like, I think they raised quite a bit of money. I don't remember the exact numbers. They actually raised quite a bit. And right now there's actually a GoFundMe campaign, which people are donating to actually fund Little Josh's college fund. I think last time I checked, they were raising like $2,000 of the $10,000. So Little Josh is actually working on right now getting his college paid for by winning this battle. And it's actually, and also, the original fight was only for Josh Wayne's, but eventually it was moved up to all Josh's. So there was actually only 2 Josh Waynes that actually showed up. That was the organizer, the person who made that group chat way back in 2020, and some random guy. And these guys were both buff dudes, right? So, they're there with arms to arms, with their big muscles. They're like, oh, we're both beat each other up, like that, doing it. But then last minute, instead of like by punch each other, they moved their hands and were like, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And they just did rock, paper, scissors to the last name. And honestly, guys, after all this stuff, like there was some guy who was wearing a knight costume. There was these 2 guys who were in Spider-Man costumes, and they actually were like pointing at each other, like, "Oh, we see each other. We're the same people." Kind of like that meme where the 2 Spider-Man people are like pointing at each other, right? It was honestly pretty epic.
Honestly, it's
Oh boy.
amazing how much people can do when they're just memeing around, like how much money they raised and how they're making, they're paying for little Josh's college fund. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah,
Just
personally,
crazy.
I'm tempted to just donate myself. Like, little Josh is going to college. That little buddy, that little Josh, he's going to the moon, man. I tell you. In fact, people already make little Josh. He's gonna have a good life ahead of him, I believe. I think little been anointed from this moment with that Burger King crown outfit. Little Josh is our new king, guys. Pretty much. In fact, I've heard apparently he's running for president in the year. 1 second, let me get this out. 2020. Wait, no, sorry. 2044. Yeah, totally. No lies there.
Little
I
Josh
don't
for
know what he's running
president 2044.
I would vote for him. Especially since he's the
Honestly?
only guy who's allowed to be named Josh now. By the way, if you're Josh and listening to this, change your name, please. Just be respectful for little Josh. You know what I mean? A lot of people have already done it. You can do it too. It's not that hard if you just try. So it was actually like overall, this thing was actually epic. Lots of local people came out. All the people there were Americans. Because at the beginning, they actually said, "Who here is from Nebraska? Who's here from Lincoln? Who's here from outside Nebraska? Who's here from outside the United States?" No one raised their hand, but Americans are pretty good. So, and as a comment I once saw on r/Stank Memes said, this really does show how people are really wanting to go out and socialize during this trying times, which I kind of agree with. Like, I don't think
So much
if this
that
was
they
a normal year, people would want to do this. I think people just want to socialize. It's why everyone
honestly,
went out
yeah.
to do it.
That's why the Area 51 raid didn't work out. Let's be honest.
Yeah, people aren't planning to change their jobs and stuff, and
Yeah.
quit their job for a little bit to go there. But the issue with the Josh fight, everyone's lost their job anyways because there's stuff going around. The economy's horrible, so of course they're going to go do that, right?
Mhm.
For some fun.
And also,
And
aren't there like a bunch of, haters saying that it was rigged and that the Josh fight was fake because little Josh won? Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
of course little Josh won.
Like, actually, though, I was looking at the battlefield footage. Little Josh was doing like this spin technique. He was like just spinning around like a fidget spinner in like all directions with his pull noodle. So it's like a freaking rollerblade. And there's this one guy, and this guy was like really huge of a guy. Like, this guy was like buff. Like, this guy, I was looking at him, and this guy written on himself like Big Josh, like in like all caps, with like a permanent tattoo on his stomach. And that guy was like freaking huge, and he had like these blades on him. And that guy freaking got destroyed by Little Josh. Like, everyone thought Big Josh. That guy was huge, but Little Josh won. Surprisingly.
Little Josh is too good.
Honestly, guys, Little Josh won, and I actually think this is kind of genuine. Yeah, but some people got mad about it. There's a few Joshes where like, if I showed up to the Josh fight, I would have destroyed him. But those Joshes are jerks. We know that, right?
Yeah, they just don't want to change their name.
Exactly. Which makes sense. You want to be known as Josh, but you can't anymore because gotta pass it on to the next generation. I'm sorry, guys. But a few YouTubers who have streamed this event, one of them is actually packing up dirt, packed up dirt from the original Battlefield, and put them in jars and is now selling them. You can buy them for $20 from him. So if you're into
only
Josh
$20, that's not too bad.
Well, he's pretty much the only reason he's actually selling them for $20 is because of shipping costs. So if you live further away, it's actually going to cost more, I think. But
that's true.
I think it's Fawcetta, I think is how you pronounce his name, but he has a YouTube channel. You can search him up and you can find some of his community posts. His language is a lot of swearing, so if you're not into that, I would not suggest watching his videos or anything. Like, we don't endorse him, but if you want to search him up, you can. We may as well give him credit's due. He also gave Josh Wayne, the organizer of this event, a piece of signed driftwood, and not driftwood. What's it called again? Drywall. So it's been signed by a whole bunch of different Joshes. So that's
Wow,
pretty epic.
that's
And
crazy.
there's actually been a plaque set up there now, like a statue of the Josh, like a little plaque, like statue thing, that's been set there to honor this memory of the Josh fight.
Wow. You know,
Yeah.
it's amazing when memes come true. Wait.
Remember, guys, this is actually a good. I'm just gonna leave you guys with some last information for this, last little like segment here. Don't let your memes be dreams, guys. If you just like, you can do what your dreams can do. Like, your memes don't need to be dreams. This can happen for you too. We believe in you. Here at the
Joshland.
Book Podcast.
Joshland, where
Joshland.
memes come
Yeah.
true.
Joshland, where dreams come true. So I'm not sure if you have anything else to add to this segment, Evan. Do you?
No, that's all. I'm just so excited and happy that it actually happened. It's awesome.
Yeah. So this is the BBQ Podcast. We're just going to do. This is it. Like, just thank you for listening to the rest of this. And this has been pretty epic. Make sure to check out me and Evan on the socials. I'll actually let Evan do the rest of the outro because Evan's the professional at the outro. So
Okay,
we're gonna go straight
professional
to him.
outro here. Okay, cue the music, cue the music. Okay, now we can start. Thank you for watching this episode of the BBQ Podcast, Season 2, Episode 6. It's been a lot of fun. We talked about a lot of amazing things today. Don't forget to go check us out on YouTube and Twitch. If you're on audio platforms, you should definitely try watching the video version sometime. Stream it on my YouTube and Twitch every other Sunday when we release a podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can watch it live there and comment in the chats. Also, if you watch on YouTube and Twitch, go check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all those great platforms that let us on. And give us a follow, rate us, and help more people find our podcasts over there. We thank you so much for watching. If you just are on YouTube, you can scroll down the description and find all of our links. Boom, he has a very consistent upload schedule, extremely consistent. So you should definitely go sub to him. But yeah, that's it. We'll see you in another couple weeks when we come out with Season 2, Episode 7. Happy May, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube at tinyurl.com/EEVAN10-YT. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/EEVAN10. And don't forget to go follow BBQ on YouTube. What? Hey everyone. We were muted for a second. Oops. What's up, nerds? That's what
I was going to do that intro. Whatever.
I know, my bad.
What's up, nerds?
You were muted at first. And that's
who cares? I said what's up, nerds first. I just want you guys to know that.
Yeah, it's true. This is
back
true.
With the Eve on 10.
That's
so yeah. It's Boom back with the Eve on 10.
Mm-hmm. That was that was a really scuffed intro.
If my name followed your name, it would be BBQ. Oh no. Well,
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode of the BBQ Podcast. I personally think it was one of our best episodes to date.
Too.
Like, with the audio quality and everything, the length of it, the topics we talked about. Some of these topics we're not sure if people would really be hitting. Like, for instance, we're not sure if the Jeff Kaplan we should maybe kept actually in just a lightning round instead of having that weird kind of lightning round mundane segment. But we kept it in because some people, that was kind of important news. And we just want you guys, just if you're like, just let us know what you think about those stuff in the comments or in the chat. If you're on line right now about what you think of the Josh fight segment we had, just how we're good doing, because we want your feedback so we know how to improve.
Improving is Pog.
Indeed, it is. So actually, some big news that we may have forgot to put in the lightning round.
This would have been a
Me.
really long episode if we put that in too.
So Apple had an Apple event, and they brought these new AirTags thing, which basically allows them to like attach this thing to like something like your like let's say you can like attach it to your keychain, and it basically has like this like locator inside it, so you can like track it wherever it is. And apparently another company was making this before, so they got pretty mad at Apple, and now there's some lawsuits. So it's really interesting. Tomorrow, guys, is the big day for the Apple versus Epic lawsuit. I'm sure there's gonna be some Reddit live streams on it and stuff. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Josh battle. But yeah, as I said in the lightning round, it's gonna be rather interesting to see who wins this fight after the last like 3 years.
For sure. I mean, I don't care too much because I don't really care that much about Epic anymore. But,
Wow.
I mean, I only play Rocket League sometimes, and even that I haven't played in a really long time, so. Yeah.
Seems like something you would do.
Yeah.
I just like Epic for the free games to give out.
Honestly, I don't even know if I'd play any of the free games, though, so.
Some of the free games are pretty good. Like, say Skylines, I got that for free. That game. Oh, it's so good. Especially considering it's free. There's another game called Tropico, where you run as a dictatorship. Like you run your own dictatorship game they released for free once on PogChamp. Like right, that was just so epic. There's a lot of games that are pretty epic on Epic Games, I think. That's what's called Epic Games. Get it?
So epic. Anyways.
So there's this guy. The guy tweets out the best things ever. And we were actually going for this a little bit before that we were doing this post commentary thing. Should we just read some of them out to y'all?
Sure, let's do it.
So this guy's Twitter is Oswald Okar 12 or Oswald 12. That's his name. We're just gonna read some of his tweets because they're actually really funny. So his flash tweet was, in Africa, people born during their earliest years are the oldest. That's actually really interesting. I never thought about that. If you have an heart attack instead of not, if you have a heart attack, attack it back. Pretty funny. The solution to world hunger is eating. You can't really argue with that. It is true. It's just that it's hard to get the food to the people that need it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
Whatever. In Africa, life leads to death 100% of the time. Together we can stop this. I agree with that. In Africa, a dog is more likely to bark than a cat. Wait, really? Here in Canada, cats bark all the time compared to dogs. That's really interesting. That's what I actually want to go to Africa just to see that. That'd be weird. In Africa, over 90% of married people were married on their wedding day. In Africa, the average person finds it difficult to read with their eyes closed. I feel that almost everyone in Africa is born on their birthday. Those are all truths. Can't really get mad at them for that.
It's true. It's true.
I can't complain personally, so I'm not complaining. That's pretty PogChamp, in my opinion.
Very PogChamp.
Yeah. So, as we said earlier, remember, give us your feedback. Anything else to add to this post commentary, Mr. E to the van?
No, it doesn't look like there are any questions for us to answer right now. But remember, you can also use the podcast suggestions channel in my Discord server, !Discord and chat, and you can find that. And you can join that, and there's a channel just for podcast suggestions if you have any. So you can go ahead and throw some in there, even if you're not watching live or anything. But yeah, that's it for me.
That's it from me. This is Boom and Evan signing out from the BBQ Podcast live right now in Canada. Are we a talk show? Are we a podcast? You gotta figure it out in the next episode. Actually, it was actually the last episode we discussed that, so you can check out that one too.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully,
true.
you guys enjoyed this all. Make sure to follow our socials as you just heard in the outro probably earlier. Do that. All the links are below. Signing out. Goodbye.
Goodbye.